Hello, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to day 2 video. As I promised, I will explain 5 problems today too. At uh, I won't delay and waste any time and move straight to the problem. The first problem is queue at the school. And at first we start explaining the problem. During the break, the school children, boys and girls, form a queue of n people in the canteen. Initially, the children stood in the order they entered in the canteen. However, after a while, the boys started feeling awkward for standing in front of the girls in the queue, and they started letting the girls move forward each second. Let's describe the process more precisely. There's no need to explain more. If I explain the scenario, in a school, there's boys and girls to have the tiffin. They make line in canteen, but after every second boys feels uncomfortable to stay in front of girls. That's why they decided to move the girls behind them to move forward. If we see the examples, A, B, G, G, B means boy, G means girl, B, G, G, B, G. If we gave this input, and we will have G, B, G, G, B. Means in every second, one girl will move forward and boy will replace the girl. And in this we can see the input. The first line contains two integers, n and which represents the number of children in the queue, and the time after which the queue will transform into the arrangement you need to find. To solve this problem, we go through this. We take input n and t, and by this map function we convert them into integer numbers. Then we also take another input string called s, and for solving this problem we using two loops. One is for loop and one is while loop. The outermost function for loop, we use no variable call, so we don't need any index for this outermost function. And while we entered the outermost function, we read this. We have I equals to 0, a variable, and we use while loop because we manually increase the value of I in this function. We check if I is less than n minus 1, means the input n minus 1 is is greater than I. Then we will continue this loop. Here we make a condition. If si means the strings I indexed value, if the I indexed value is b and I plus 1 index value is g, means uh, we are finding some pattern called bg, means boy is in front and girl is behind the boy. If we find this kind of expression, then we will swap that positions, and for this we use this line. Okay, and for after this we increment the value of I with a plus 2, because if we plus 1, then the current position, the replaced position, will be swapped again, and it's not we don't want to replace the swap the position of current uh, initial um, current swap positions. Okay, and if we don't have these kinds of pattern, then we will just increase by 1, and it's working fine. Okay, then let's move on the second problem called chat room. In this problem, Vasya has recently learned to type and log on the internet. He immediately entered a chat room and decided to say hello to everybody. Vasya typed word S. It is considered that Vasya managed to say hello. If several letters can be deleted from the typed word so that it resulted in the word hello. For example, if Vasya types the word AHHELLOOU, a hello, it will be considered that he said hello. And if he types hello, it will be considered that Vasya got misunderstood and he didn't manage to say hello. Determine whether Vasya managed to say hello by the given word S. Means in this problem we have to find out that Vasya is actually telling hello or not. For confirming that, we need to print yes or no. In case of that, if the given input has a hello word after cutting some characters, if we don't have any characters to cut, then we will print no. Like if, and we have to check is it in a right order or not. To solve this problem, we we take a input s where we will give the string, and we set a target saying hello, because we are gonna check it out by this target. And we just initially give a value to j, and we started a for loop where we check if the j is less than the length of the hello target hello, and c equals to target target indexed. Means if as the j is 0, c will check is it equal to the target 0 indexed character or not. And as we use c as a for indexed character, also, gradually it will increase automatically, and check is the given input character and the target character is equal or not. If the both conditions is confirming, then we will increase the value of j by and after completing the loop, we will say if the length of if the j's value is equal to the length of target, then we will print yes, and otherwise we will print no. Okay, let's move on the third problem, called George and accommodation. Here, George has recently entered the BSUCP, means Berlin State University for Cool Programmers. George has George has a friend Alex who has also entered the university. Now they are moving into a dormitory. George and Alex want to live in the same room. The dormitory has n rooms in total. At the moment, the ith room has pi people living in it, and the room can accommodate qi people in total. You, your task is to count how many rooms has free place for both George and Alex. If I simply explain this problem, in this we have to calculate the empty rooms where both Alex and George can be accommodated together. For this we will give input in two lines. In the first line we will give an integer input which will say the number of rooms, and after that we will give the we will give the input as the number of n. And for that input we will first give the we will give the first number the people are living in the room, and secondly we will give the number of capacity of the room. Okay, go to the solve. If we want to solve this problem, at first we take the input using the input method, and we convert it into an integer number using the int function, and we set a count, and we set the count as 0, and we use a for loop in the for loop for n means how, if we it means if the number we gave as an input, the loop will continue for this n number, and take the inputs p and q, and after taking these inputs we'll check that q minus p means the difference between the capacity and the living peoples in that room. If the difference between this capacity and living person in that room is greater or equal to 2, we will increase the count, and by this we will solve this problem and say how many rooms are empty to move them together. Okay, let's jump on the next problem called calculating a function. It's a very easy and common problem. We have to implement a function fn equals to -1 plus 2 minus 3, means it's a series or sequence type problem where we will have a minus plus sequence, and it's growing gradually. If we think deeply and uh, s- um, do some practices, we will have that the if we give f1, then we will have just -1. If we give 2, then we will have -1 plus 2, and the sum of the functions are the um, um, sum of the functions are, if we see that it's n, if it's a even number, it's n by 2, and if it's an odd number, then minus n plus 1 by 2. So simply we can put that in function and say that we'll take the n input and give the total equals to 0, set the total as 0, and we run a for in function, and set the initial value from 1 to n plus 1, and we watch if the index if the value is moduled by 2 and the modulus equals to 0, then we'll total plus equals to I, means we will add the uh, at that value. We can solve this problem like this, or we can solve this in a different method too, and for that we will just say that we will for the different method we won't use this for loop function. We will just say that the total, we will say we will give a condition if n modulus 2 equals 0, means we will check is it even or odd. If it's even, we will say n by 2, n by 2 total equal to n by 2. we will say else total equal to minus n plus 1 by 2. We will simply say that and it will work fine. Okay, after solving this problem, let's move on the next problem called a team problem. Here three best friends go on a programming contest and they want to solve problems which at least two of them can solve easily. So for solving this problem, we take input as n and set the count equals to 0, and we loop through the we use for loop to take the inputs of p, v and t, and we check if pvt is the summation of pvt is greater or equal to 2, then we will increase the value of count and we will print it out. By this we can solve all these 5 problems. Thank you everyone. And man is full of mistakes and problems, and man can be improved day by day. You all can give me feedbacks and say what I can do to improve my quality of speaking or make you understand more and more. I really love to take feedbacks from you. Thank you everyone. If you are listening till the end, and wait for the next video. Thank you.